Okay, so while I was disassembling Fred, or rather his arm, to replace it, I discovered that the wires here were jammed up. I'm not going to be able to put this back in like that because this is going to short out and cause all sorts of grief, potentially damaging stuff. So we're going to remove the servo from the old holster. I have got a new one printed, ready to mount it into. I also have a new piston to go on. Because this printer is now dialed in much better, I've not had to sand anything on this to make it work. So we'll attach that as well. With the holster, I don't believe I need to be able to pull it apart. So what I'm going to do is weld around with a 3D pen to secure it better. I don't trust the screw to hold it properly, not with that load. So let's pull the old one apart. Now I have got a screwdriver that goes all the way through this, so I can attach this piece onto here and then assemble it on later. So I will remove this top because it will make it easier to work on. Bit of damage there as well. Now the old wire had a red trace down one side of it, which was connected to the red wire coming out. I've left a piece of that on here so I can keep track of where it was. That's a bit of a worry. I might need a longer cable on here anyway, so it might pay me to run a longer lead and put a new plug on the end. Now I've got some more wire here. This is just multicolour ribbon wire. There's 6 strands in this one. It actually came originally as a 10 wide, but I've been using bits of it in other parts of the project. There was only 5 in this slot, not 6. I'll get another bit of wire shortly. Now I've previously removed this pot from inside here, and there's also a pin normally in here to prevent it from turning too far, and I've removed that pin. Once you remove that pin, you have to remove that pot or you're going to damage the pot. I think this time I might take the wires all the way in and solder direct to the board. Okay, so on the original servo, there was nylon. This is a nylon gear. There was nylon coming out and around here to act as a stopper, which hit up against the stoppers on the inside of the lid here. I've removed those so that now this can turn freely all the way around. And that's because we're using this at a different gear ratio because of the screw arrangement. So we need to use, I think it's about 2 turns or 1.5 turns as opposed to 180 degrees or half a turn. So I just pulled that end out just to show you what's involved in that one. Now to get this board out, it's connected via that earth pin and these two terminals on the motor, and that's fixed in place. So to get this board out, we're going to have to remove or desolder these two terminals. Might just get a device. So that's going to be rather warm now. But we can see where each of our terminals are connected, or wires are connected to on board. They've used some sort of a sealant to help hold wires in place and help hold components in place. Now that that's disconnected from that earth pin, that sinks heat away very rapidly and makes it hard to desolder. We can now pull the solder out of that one with ease. So I pull the servo out of the device and get rid of that bit of extra solder. So terminals of that solder pad, and that one. Okay, so all our holes are in. Let's get a new bit of wire ready. So the board's actually labelled red, yellow and green, which is the colours that came off. The red wire is connected pretty close to the 5-volt supply, which is this middle wire coming in. The green wire is connected pretty close to that black wire if you follow the pads around, so on the board. And the yellow wire, its trace will go back to that chip, and that's actually our reference voltage. So the potentiometer is just a voltage divider to give the position feedback. So the wires I'm using are black, white and grey. I'm going to put the grey where the red was, use the black for the ground or the green wire, and the white will be our reference wire. Okay, as mentioned before, there's a bit of damage on here, so it will pay for me to replace this, and since the new path where I'm going to run the wires down, so I'm going to use the brown, red and orange cores out of this. Right, so this is a 1 metre length. Okay, so the colour coding on these wires, the red wire in the middle is actually our positive supply, in our case 6 volts. The black is our ground, 0 volt, and yellow is our signal wire. So we'll get this one prepared, ready to change over so we don't forget the positionings. Now some servos come with the brown, red and orange already, so we're just going to use the same wiring colour conventions, with the red in the middle being the positive. In this case the brown will be the ground and the orange will be the signal. And you may notice I touch it with a little bit of U-solder when I start to desolder, and that's because they use the no lead solders when they're mass producing, and they can be very difficult to desolder. If you touch them with a little bit of ordinary leaded solder, it can help with the desoldering process. Okay, on the lid of these servos, there's a little notch out, and that notch has to line up on this side or you'll start cutting through your wires. This little knob on the top here also lines up to keep the motor pressed down. This is actually an O-ring type seal, and unfortunately in this one, now it's fairly old and it's broken, so it's not going to be sealing much, but I'm going to put it back in there for the vibration purpose. It's our servo reassembled. Okay, so that's the old holder. This is the new one. Now these two screws don't grab very well, they are only to hold it in position while they're plastic welded. But before we get to that, let's attach our new piston. Don't you have any fit with a screw in? Okay, so these ones I'll have to crimp on and put another connector on, and I'll do that after I get the robot mostly back together. This one I'll have to install into the rest of the bicep so that I can get a length on the wire, and then that will be connected to this. Remembering that the grey wire connects to where the red one on this one is now.
Well, that'll do for this video. If you like these videos, don't forget to click on like, subscribe and ring that notification bell. It's a form of support that costs you nothing and helps the channel a great deal. If you'd like to support the channel further, I have a Patreon account and you can join my Patreons, VIPs, Go Lucky and Lorenz Berger, or my other Patreons, Almorels45 and Ratchet. I also have a Discord server. You can join the growing community there, learn from others in the community and myself, or maybe help others in the community yourself. And we'll see you in the next video.